Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article here from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So could T-Mobile possibly be in trouble once again? So Charter is terrified that T-Mobile is stealing its convergence secrets. A new lawsuit by Charter against its former VP shows the company is worried that T-Mobile's Metronet deal might be trying to steal trade secrets about wireline / wireless convergence. So T-Mobile is buying Metronet, but they're not buying the entire company. But Metronet has an executive that went from Charter and is now working at Metronet that could be giving some of those, trade secrets or whatever they're called. So I kind of want to compare that. Well, not really compare, but when John left T-Mobile in 2020, John got to see, when he was the CEO of T-Mobile, he got to see all of T-Mobile's plans pretty much probably for the next 10 or so years. So John had to sign a non-compete clause before he left the company, for those of you who remember. And that clause said he could not work for another competitor in the industry for like 10 plus years or so, maybe longer, because he knew so much and he was fed so much information because he was a part of that entire deal. So he probably still knows what T-Mobile's plans are through 2030 and beyond. John probably already knew about the fiber deal that they were going to try to make. He probably knew about US Cellular. He knew about all of that. He had info to very confidential information. So that's why he had to sign that clause. So in a sense, I mean, that could have been, possibly Charter's fault. If that guy had that much information, they should have made him sign a non-compete clause that he could not work for a competitor or in the industry, right? It's possible that they could have done that, but I mean, if we're doing that, right, then we have to do that with every company, right? I think T-Mobile just recently hired a CMO for T-Mobile for Business, and he was previously in charge of AT&T's network. I think his name was like Mo Kadibith or something like that, and T-Mobile hired him as their CMO. He probably knew some trade secrets. He probably had some information that he's relaying to T-Mobile on AT&T's plans. So, if you're making cuts, if you're making job cuts on the executive level, those people are going to look for jobs elsewhere. So, I mean, in my opinion, this is probably going to get thrown out of court. But again, T-Mobile could be on the hook and going to court. Once that Metronet deal closes, I'm sure this is probably going to be done by that time, whatever the judge decides. But definitely we'll keep an eye out to see what happens with this. I just find this very interesting that Charter is that concerned. Charter is already struggling with FWA, right? They made public statements saying, hey, we're not going to, those customers will come back. And that clearly hasn't happened. And now they're that terrified over a small Metronet deal, right? It's a JV player. And they're really concerned about this. So they put out the lawsuit. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.